Hi folks, Dallas here with Privateer Press. Last time we started our Satyxis right and got their horns ready to impale and impress. Today we're going to keep going and rain in the blood with the Sanguine elements. Let's get started. So for this technique, I'm going to apply our base color to a few select areas, things I want to accentuate, like the little hood and the edge of her robes, and maybe these little tassels here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a couple different shades in the two brush blend to give them some depth and some definition, a little contrast. And then we're just going to highlight it, some little lines, nothing too fancy. This is going to make a nice blood red accent to our Satyxis, so let's see what it looks like. To begin with, I'm going to use an equal amount of Scorn Red and Murderous Magenta. We're just going to add a little touch of water to loosen our paint. We're just going to start applying this as a base coat. Honestly, this can be anywhere you want. I just want to use it as an accent. Probably be pretty cool to make the whole robe this color. I mean, she is a blood priestess after all, so maybe it shows her rank, or maybe it shows that she's really into her job. Let's paint these little tassels. I'm probably going to do 2 coats on this. So the pigments that make up red tend to be a little more fine, so they don't have quite the same opacity as some other pigments. You usually got to do 2 coats of red. It's just the way red works. Can't rush your reds. Red doesn't want to be bullied. Red does not conform to your desires. All right, that's a nice red start to our Sanguine. Let's add some shadow. For our shade, we're going to be using just some straight up Sanguine base. I'm just going to pull some of this out and apply it in the shadows with a little 2-brush blend here. This is very subtle shadow. I'm more or less just changing the tone of some of this red to start creating the effect. Just kind of remove some of the intensity out of that where it shadows. And just work my way around the model. I'm going to shade the back here pretty heavily. Sometimes you just gotta go over it twice to get those smooth blends. I never try to do anything on the first shot. Painting miniatures is the fine art of correcting one's mistakes. It's kind of like life. And one more little spot right on the bottom side of this. All right, that gave us a little additional tone to our red. Let's take it down one more notch with a final shade. So for our final shade, we're just going to grab a little blotch of coal black, a little spotch of beaten purple, mix that together with our old grabby brush. So I just went just a little shade just to really darken up the deepest parts here. Don't need to get too over the top or bring it up too far. Just a touch. Kind of run a little side saddle on that paint there. A little interesting technique. And whatever gets the paint on the way you need it, right? Sometimes you just gotta come from the side. It's much more tricky to do, but with a little practice you can get there. If you're getting on there, use that second brush to clean that up. Just like so. It's all art. There's no wrong way to art. All right, with our dark shadows applied, it's time to move to those highlights to make it pop. For our highlight, we're simply going to add Minoth White base to our base color. I'm going to pull this off to the side. That way we can maintain our base color in case we need any cleanup. Seems like a pretty good highlight. So let's apply some highlights. So I'm going to put this along the edge, just using the side of my brush for this. Just do a little quick blend down that edge there. Try to keep it pretty sharp. I'll blend that out just a little. Maybe one on this side. I'm just going to reinforce that. Let's put a little highlight right there. So that's pretty good for our initial highlight. We're going to take this up another notch with one final addition. For this, I'm going to take some Carnal Pink and just add it right to my highlight color. There we go. See that next to it there, next to that. I'm just going to use this color. Just put a little bit of a poppy edge to make my Sanguine stand out. And just keep it real minimal. Little line right there on that peak of the hood, just to make that stand out. Something like that. Just anywhere it's going to catch like the most light. Just give it that little pop. All right, with our final highlight on, let's clean it up and see how she looks. So I got her all cleaned up with the Thamar Black to block everything out so you can really see the red. And I think it looks really good. I really enjoy the look of this. Funny thing is, I actually noticed I forgot to paint this sleeve when I was doing it, so went back and put that in real quick. And that's okay. Sometimes you miss a spot and you just go back and add it in later. It's not a big deal. So the red's all added and she's looking pretty good. You know, practicing blood magic is much easier when you look the part. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more videos and check out the links below for more in this series and additional information on the P3 hobby line.
Why do we not have a second mug for you to drink out of?
Because that's my mug to drink out of. If I have that mug to drink out of, I won't drink out of mugs that have things in it that I shouldn't drink. This informs me to make good choices.